Hello! It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, that's because I've been hard at work on a new thing that I'm announcing today. Also, I've been kind of busy with some freelance work, but new thing! I'm making a short film! Mike, you've made shorts before. I know, but this one is different! Why are we yelling? I don't know! So yeah, I'm making a new short film, and it's big and exciting. Well, it's big for me. And there's a lot to talk about. How is it big and different? Well, it's gonna take me 2 months to complete this thing. I'm really putting whatever semblance I have of a back into this thing. I've done outlines, I've shot listed, I've done reshoots, there's VFX, I may be commissioning a score, I've done Foley. I really like how it's coming along, and it's far from finished, but it's gonna be bringing some big changes to my Patreon. More on that in a bit. First, I'm gonna take kind of a detour to talk about how a broken Windows 10 update system made this thing happen and kind of changed my life. I promise this is what connects everything. So I recently did a clean install of Windows 10 on my PC here, partly to fix the fact that I wasn't getting version updates, and partly because I just like it. It freshens everything up. A clean install of Windows will save all your files as long as you remember to back up, but it won't save all the applications you have installed. That would be hard and kind of defeat the purpose, you're cleaning everything out. So it deletes, Chrome, Steam, games, After Effects, Premiere, Photoshop. Here's where things get a little personal because this is a thing I don't bring up a whole lot because I'm not proud of it, but I've had a good chunk of the Adobe suite on my computer for a long time. I love them, they're my go-to programs, but they were all pirated. For years, I've been using pirated software to create my art, and part of me really didn't care. Stick it to the man and all that. It was an act of rebellion. But there would always be moments where something wouldn't work, or I wouldn't have the right plugin, or it would be really helpful to have the latest version, or even just where it would feel like it delegitimized whatever I was making. So after the clean install, all that's gone, and you're thinking, oh, boo-hoo, this guy just lost his pirate software and suddenly he feels bad. But I saved all the installers. I can have all that stuff back on my computer in 2 seconds. Adobe installers take a lot more than 2 seconds to run, but the point is that I backed up. My pirate's booty is there if I wanted it. I backed up my booty. But when my freshly clean computer booted up for the first time, I saw an opportunity. I could go clean, finally. I've wanted to switch to Adobe Creative Cloud for a long time now, but I just don't have the money for a $50 a month subscription, or even a $20 a month subscription if I were still a student. I'm just not in that kind of financial situation right now. And then I remembered something called HitFilm. The Film Riot people had made a short with them a while ago, and I remember them talking about their free software. So I went and checked them out. They're on HitFilm 4 now, but they still offer an express version that's free forever. Like, not a demo or a trial, it's just free. And what's cool about HitFilm is that it's basically Premiere and After Effects mashed together into one. It's both editing and compositing software. I used it and I was like, well, that's it. That'll be this film's thing, is I'll make it entirely with free software. And so, currently, HitFilm 4 Express is the only editing or compositing software on my computer. It's right there. It's that little triangle icon, if you can see it. And that's the exciting part. I'm making this entire short, ambitious as it is for me, and it is ambitious, for free. And that means that anybody could do it, which means that you could do it. And that's where we tie this into Patreon. Because the other thing about the Adobe suite and about having a pirated version is that the After Effects tutorials that I was making for a while would fall on deaf ears because nobody had After Effects, because nobody could afford After Effects, because the amateur YouTube community that I speak to, that wasn't a draw for them. Because the Adobe suite and other paid creative software like it acts as this gated community. It's a gatekeeper to penniless creative people like me who just want to make shit. And that's not to mention the people who can't or won't or are afraid to pirate big software like this. And so with this, not only can I make my short film legitimately and for free, but I can take what I learned from this and then teach other people how to do the same thing right now for free. It's the whole promise of YouTube and the digital age finally in a piece of creative video software. Now, I don't want this to sound like a commercial or a partnership with HitFilm. It's certainly not perfect software. It does lack some effects that you can buy, and it runs nowhere near as smoothly as Premiere or After Effects ever did on my machine. But it's there, and it's getting the job done, and it's good to have constraints. The constraints are what pushed me forward and got me excited about this. And it is free, and it's all about the freedom to create things. But so Patreon. the whole point of the title of this video. My Patreon goals and rewards for patrons will be changing in the wake of this project as of today. Anyone who backs me on Patreon, anyone, before this film comes out, right down to the second before I export the thing, will get their name in the credits. And in fact, in the credits of every other short that I put out, as long as you're a backer. I want to give the community of people that I've cultivated and that have stuck around for years, some of you, and who believe in me and what I create so adamantly that every month they're there with praise and encouragement and their own money. I want to give you people the credit you deserve. So, the new stated monetary goal on my Patreon, the whole purpose of this big project push, or a purpose of it, is so that I can afford the Adobe suite, legitimately, to be able to pay for the tools that let me do my job, because I do this stuff for a living now. I'm moving into freelance, and I just can't run my profession off of this free software. I wish I could. The why, my mission statement, is creative independence, as ever, and community. So like, the ideal in all of our heads, and the big pie-in-the-sky idea behind Patreon, right, is this utopia where artists are all paid enough for their projects, and also to be able to contribute to other artists that they like, and it all just goes around in this nice big circle of sharing, and we all get to pay our rent. That's how this thing has to work, and so you better believe with more money coming in, I'm gonna be putting some of that back into the system, because that's how this has to work. Now then, here's a breakdown of all the new patron rewards. Pledging $1, just $1 a month, will get you monthly tutorials in HitFilm, or once I have the Adobe Suite again, Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere, and just some of my general creative process stuff. Tutorials every month. You'll also get early access to behind-the-scenes videos. I'm shooting behind the scenes on this short, and then whatever else I shoot. Also, early access to videos, which I'm tentatively referring to as screenings, and I will have more to talk about that in the future. And you'll also get, of course, your name on my videos, and maybe other stuff. I'm not entirely sure the whole scope of what I'll be creating so far. And yes, you heard me right, that's the $1 level. That's the intro, like $1 gets you all of that. At the $3 level, $3 a month will get you all of that, all of the above, and also a digital copy of each new short that I put out. At $5 a month, you'll get all of that, and project files. I'm talking HitFilm projects, I'm talking Photoshop documents, Premiere Pro projects, I'm talking After Effects projects, and all the corresponding footage to make those projects go. So if you want to follow along in a tutorial, or just kind of pick apart a scene or an effect or a part of a short that I did, that's all going to be there for you to play with. At the $10 level, $10, you wonderful people, $10 a month will get you absolutely everything you see here, plus downloads of all of my short films to date, everything I've made up to this point, plus digital copies of tutorial videos. You can watch those offline if you want, maybe you want to do that. And you'll also get scripts, outlines, other documents, the works. So anything that gets made, anything tangential to a thing that I create, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get absolutely everything. Those are the new perks. I'm very excited by them. I hope you are as well. Now, when will this be done? When do you need to contribute by in order to get your name on this film? I want to have this thing finished and out the door, live on the internet on October 1st, 2016. 1 month, 30 days. And I will be talking more and more throughout those 30 days to remind you and annoy you. There you have it. That was a lot of things. Now you know why I was so quiet and busy for a while. If there was anything I left out, or if there's any questions or clarifications you want answered, please let me know in the comments or anywhere else that you can contact me. I want you to have as much information about what I am doing as possible. And if seeing things in print is better for your brain, you can go ahead and subscribe to my email newsletter, which is about to become very much about this project, and which will have an issue filled with everything I talked about today, coming out tomorrow, Friday, September 2nd. So be sure to subscribe now to get that in your inbox tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, for your continued support. I'm really, really excited to share this thing with you. Finally, be sure to head over to my Patreon if you want to get your name on it, and if you want to check out any of the other perks that I'm very excited to start offering, and to start having more over there. Let's all make stuff.